What is going on? I don't know what road I'm on. I might have to walk up that.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free Trading Game Collection Challenge, the series where I built this video game collection without spending a penny on it. How have we done that? Well, there is a playlist in the description for you to check out, and for the final time this month, today's sponsor. Thank you to today's sponsor, K4G.com, a digital goods platform for PC and console gaming. So if you're looking for the latest releases, such as Football Manager 2023, they have you covered with huge discounts. Even if you want to pre-order the latest games, from Forspoken to Dead Space, these also have pretty significant discounts. They also have 24/7 support and over 4,000 positive reviews on Trustpilot. They also carry a huge selection of gift cards, so whatever you're looking for, I'm sure there's something for you. If you use the code TVM at checkout, you get yourself a nice 10% discount. All the links are found in the description. So in this series, what I like to do, and what we're going to do today actually, is go out and find a deal or two, flip part of it on to make the money back and potentially make a profit, and then whatever's left over we're going to take into CEX. That is the core of this series. That's how we've managed to accumulate the cash balance that you see on screen right now. That's how we've actually managed to accumulate the collection value that you see on screen as well. That is based on CEX's sale prices, because we tend to buy games from them a lot as well. I'm just basing everything off that. So essentially my collection is valued against the value that CEX give their games. It's a bit inflated in some cases, it's undervalued in others, but more often than not it is overinflated, but it's just kind of way to do it. It's just easier for me to keep track that way. So today I'm going to go and pick up two Facebook Marketplace deals, one after another. I say one after another, I think they were like 2 days apart. But this was during the it's -7 outside period that we had. Now it's +10 and I'm in shorts. It's weird, I don't understand it. But it was literally like -5 or something stupid outside. And I walk places. In my town, it takes, I don't know, it's like 2.4 miles or something from one end of the town to the other. And I don't mean like the actual town itself, like where all the shops are. I mean the whole place. From one end to the other is about 2.5 miles. But it's not flat. I live in Wales. It is unbelievably hilly. I live on a hill, then there's a valley, then there's another hill. So there's a lot of that going on. And this was absolutely no exception. I had to walk all the way down to go all the way back up twice. It was a nightmare and it was freezing. But I do have footage of me picking these things up. The first thing that we're going to pick up though is Xbox One games. This was £5 for all. Now this isn't an amazing deal. The next deal is by far the best one, but this was one of those where I thought, you know what, let's get back into it. I haven't picked up anything on Facebook for a while. It's the first thing I've actually seen on Facebook worth picking up, so I went to go and get it.
What is going on? I don't know what road I'm on. I might have to walk up that. This is mental. The elevation on this. Jesus. I'm knackered. I tell you what, I'm freezing. But we have the games, which is the main thing. Now I just gotta walk all the way down there. About 45 minutes worth. No idea where I'm going. Screw it, let's go this way because I know where I'm going this way. So, I don't know if you can hear me, but the games are, if I can adjust the camera, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, they're all in there. Watch Dogs 2, Watch Dogs Legion, which is actually an interesting looking game. If it was on PlayStation I'd consider it. And I asked, did she have anything else? And she said yes, NBA 2K20, which she threw in for free. I've switched to a more competent camera. That trades in for £3 apparently. So, all those I think should trade in for £14 I think. We've just paid a £5, so that's pretty decent. It's not great, but it is pretty decent. So I asked her if she had anything else, and she threw in NBA 2K20, which isn't the best game in the world, but for nothing, which I thought was kind of cool. I was kind of hoping she had like a controller or maybe even the console that she wanted to sell, but she didn't. It was just those games, and she said she had that one lying around. Didn't think anyone would want it because it was so old, but there we are. Pays to ask.
Now, as you saw, I picked up those games, £5. She threw in NBA 2K20. That was a little while ago. That was like a few days ago. I completely forgot what it was. That always pays to ask. Like, that happens quite a lot when you're at the door and you're like, hey, do you have anything else? Video game wise, and they just grab something and they don't have time to think about it, and 9 times out of 10 you'll get a much better deal than what you would have done had they had time to think about how much that item was worth. So in this instance, she said, oh yeah, I've got this, I didn't think anyone would want it because it's so old, you can have it for free, and just chucked it on top. Banging, because it actually trades in for a couple of quid. She gave it to me and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I didn't go, oh, okay, to her face. I was like, oh, brilliant, thank you, and then walked away. But obviously, when I really thought about it, I was like, oh, it's a sports game, it's not going to trade in for much. I think it actually traded in for like £3 or £4. I think it was like £3. So either way, we're going to pick up, I think, and the exact figure will be on screen for you, but off the top of my head, I think it was about £14 in credit, maybe like £14 and some change, credit from a £5 spend, which is not bad. If you go in to spend the profit like I do in these episodes where I don't like to spend more than £15, although in the last episode I went double that, but my point is, if I go in to spend £15, now that's cost me a £5 and I can still get £15 worth of games. So yes, we're not making the money back in this instance, but we are getting nearly triple what we've spent. Now, the next deal was for a console and games. Now, unfortunately, it's not a great console in terms of value. It's an Xbox 360. They've worded this wrong. Not that it makes that much of a difference, but it did. I wouldn't have gone for it actually had it been what they listed it as. So they listed it as an Xbox 360 Elite console. Now, the Elites are just the step up with a 120 gig hard drive on it from the original Xboxes. They still have the red ring of death issue, the overheating and all the rest of it. So I tend to stay away from those, even though they are technically my favorite console because I love the Elite. But I don't really mess with them because of that red ring. So, luckily, they worded it wrong, and it's actually the Slim, which people consider to be the best version of the Xbox 360. We picked up an e-console from Regenerate a week or two ago, which I've been playing a lot of Fight Night on, and Beijing as well, but my new favourite game in the background there. But this was originally up for 30. I said, would you do 25? It had only been up there 20 minutes. They said, yes, that's fine. Fine, I'll come pick it up tomorrow. So off I went.
I'm going to have to transfer this. Better angle for you. I'm going to have to transfer this because the bag is about to break. Okay. Let's have a little look, shall we? That is dirty as all hell. Ooh. Okay. That's something then. And then all those games. I think that controller's broken, but it is what it is. This is absolutely not going to be any better, but I've gone in a bus stop for a quick second. Now, the one game I've checked looks good, and that's this one here, which I think trades in for a little bit, £3 or so. I'm going to go through all of these games now and see what is tradeworthy and what isn't. But all the games are here, as you can see, hopefully, and here. I do apologise, but yeah, we're looking good. I hope. Oh, well, that is a shame, because it is only one disc and it's the install disc, so that's no good. That is Lego Movie. Oh my god, that is cracked, so they won't take that. This is not going well. That is also no, no, that's cracked as well. I'll be lucky if they take that. Oh my days. It's good, but it doesn't trade in for much. I think it's like £1.60 or something. This, I'm hoping, trades in for is in good condition to trade, and it is, thankfully. Another crack. These people did not look after their games. This is not good at all. Some scratches might be okay. Well, that one's now broken. That one is damaged there. So that ain't going anywhere. And finally, is that a second one? Oh, I've already checked this. This was good, I think. Here's 5 to 7. Yeah, that was decent. So it looks like for all those games in there, we'll probably be looking at about 15, possibly a touch more. But that's if they take one or two of them are questionable. So this is not as good as I was hoping for, but definitely not going to lose money, just not going to get the amount that I was hoping for.
So the Xbox 360, as you saw in that video, hopefully, and you could actually hear me properly, there is a hard drive in it, which surprised me slightly because, and I'll show you in a minute, this console, the S, this is the matte black one with the black trim around the outside. The reason that is a thing, and the reason that matters, is because the 250 gig model is glossy here, which is a fingerprint magnet, and this is silver. Now, that means that when I looked at the listing, I thought, right, doesn't have a hard drive, let's just assume it doesn't. And then those games, let's assume only 50% of them are going to be trade-worthy. You've got to work on worst case, you know? So even if this was faulty, didn't work, and those games were all completely trashed, I know I could still get £25 back for it, because a broken Xbox would gain most of my money back anyway, and then the games, I could sell them as just damaged £5–10, and my money is safe. I knew my money was okay. Fortunately, most of the games traded, but also, as you saw, it does actually come with a hard drive. It is an official 250 gig. Now, this is important for many reasons, but the first of which is we need it, of course. If you've not been following the series, you won't know, but we bought an e-console from Regenerate, which is a pawn shop, for, what was it, like £25 or something. It came with an extra controller, which they weren't meant to give me, so we were up on the deal there. I was going to sell that, basically, to buy a hard drive. Don't need to anymore, because I've got one. This is £10 in CEX, so I've saved myself £10 by picking this up. That will go into my Xbox at a later date. Now, this Xbox itself is not without issue. Could lie and say that there's absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. It's perfect. It's not perfect. There is, well, there are a few issues. So the first of which is that it's filthy. The dust and the muck in there is shocking. It must have been in a drawer or something. It's just not had very good ventilation whatsoever. The other problem is that the disc tray does not open. Now I know you're thinking, well, it's faulty then. It is technically, but it's not a difficult fix. I just need to open it, and I haven't done it yet because I've just been lazy. All I need to do is open it up, realign the disc tray, and it'll be fine. So it's not a difficult fix. If there is something more sinister, I'll update you on it, but when this is fixed, I should be able to sell it for, I mean, I don't know the exact figure of what these are going for, but I would imagine 40 minimum with a controller and some of these games. These are the games I can't trade in. The one of which you saw, which was this one, has the GTA install disc in it. So that's worthless. Now, of course, it might not be worthless if that Lego game is in that Xbox. It's a distinct possibility, or it could be the GTA Play disc, because the install disc is what's in the case. Either way, I'll have to wait and see. These three, I would say these three they couldn't take. One of them, this one, that's the one that had the one that I dropped out of the case and had the little bit of damage. It had the damage before I dropped it, and how do I know that? Because the damage that's on this wouldn't have happened from me dropping it. It's something else, but that they wouldn't take because of the damage. It would work because the damage is on the outer ring where there's no data, so it would be fine, but can't trade it in. So I'll just bundle that with a console, explain that the disc is trashed, but it still works. And then we have these two. Both of these have cracks in the spindles. I tried to trade one of them, this one, and she said, no, can't take it. There's a crack in the spindle. Perfectly fine. I was kind of expecting it. The interesting thing, though, Skate had a crack in the spindle, and she took that one. So overlooked, maybe. There was a really weird conversation going on behind her, and she was half listening to it, so maybe her concentration was taken away from it, because she did apologise about the horrendous it was about Jeffrey Dahmer and someone, and they were getting them confused with someone. It was a really weird situation. Anyway, point to take away from this is I could continue to try and trade these in, and eventually they probably will get taken, but what I'll do is I'll just bundle them with the console, so I'm not burdening someone who buys something from CEX with having a cracked disc, but also I might be able to squeeze a couple of extra quid out because I've got 2 Lego games, well technically 3, to go with that Xbox when I sell it. So £25 spent. I managed to trade in all of those games for however much money is on screen now. I forget how much it was. I think together with those Xbox 360 games that I managed to trade in and the Xbox One games that I traded in, I think I have around £38 in credit, which is decent. You know, we've spent, what, £30 in total. We've got £38 in credit, and we're now going to be able to sell this Xbox with those games, once I fix it, for more than what I paid in the first place. So we've got £38 in credit for free, and we're actually probably going to chuck a couple of quid in profit on the top. That controller, by the way, it's not the best, but it's not broken. I thought it was. It looked like it was split there. It isn't. It was just the angle that it was sat at, but it's perfectly fine. And it doesn't have one of those stupid battery packs either. It is actually an actual battery pack, if that makes sense. So you can actually put your own batteries in there. I just prefer those. But yeah, I've tested this on mine. This actually does work. I just need to open that up and realign. So in the next episode, you'll see me spend the credit. I was going to put it in here, but that is a fairly lengthy process in itself as well, and I didn't really want a 30-40 minute video. I'm actually going to be able to have another little bit of credit as well, because I'm going to take a game from the collection and top up the credit. Now, the game I'm taking from the collection is a PS4 game. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. I'll tell you in the next episode. But it's a game I haven't played. It's a game I'm not likely to play anytime soon. And I'm not worried about it going up too much in price for me to be able to pick it up, because I feel like I could pick it up in a certain scenario. But while it's going to trade in for more than £10, I'm going to capitalise. If you want to see what that game is, join me in the next episode. If you have enjoyed this one, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until the next time, goodbye.